Thank you very much. The chair now recognizes Representative Grijalva for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I represent Arizona's 7th Congressional District, a state with many tribal nations that have fought for generations against mining projects forced onto their land without consent. When Indigenous voices are ignored, the result is always the same. Sacred places destroyed, waters contaminated, and communities are left to deal with the damage long after the corporations move on. Arizona's experience shows us where this road leads. Before Congress allows deep-sea mining to move forward, we must stop, listen, and put real protections in place, protections that respect Indigenous sovereignty, protect sacred ecosystems, and ensure communities are not forced to carry all the risk for someone else's profit. Mr. Thayer, we just heard some bold claims about timeline, ships, processing in the United States, all starting this year. Do these ships exist? How long would it take to stand them up? And is any of this legitimate?
Yes, we have our first.
This was actually a question to Mr. Thaler.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I thought you said Barrett. Sorry.
That's all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that question. I don't know the specifics of the state of completion with Mr. Barron's systems. I know with Impossible Metals that they are still in prototype development phases and have several years of experimentation left to do to prove the system is viable.
Thank you. Mr. Gunasekara, I don't want to mispronounce. American Samoans came out overwhelmingly in opposition to seabed mining in the waters surrounding their island. In response, BOEM has doubled the size of the potential lease area. In your opinion, what should happen when Indigenous peoples oppose mining offshore of their coastlines? And should they have input in the permitting process?
We absolutely need to have engagement with coastal communities, and that's the purpose of the RFI, to start that engagement. The potential leasing is a very long and multi-stage process that's likely to take a few years, and the RFI kicks off that engagement. So it's very important to have the engagement from the local people and get their input. And ultimately,
to follow up on the specific question, though, when Indigenous peoples oppose mining offshore of their coastlines, should their input be a part of the permitting process?
Absolutely. Federal law mandates that their input is to be considered. It's part of the RFI. But I do think there are benefits for the coastal communities that should also be considered in the form of
Right,
of
I
jobs.
understand that, but I want to make sure that when we're talking about this, that the Indigenous tribes that are impacted are consulted. And right now, that process isn't happening. And so a follow-up question to you, sir. You've often spoken about how mining can benefit local communities. What benefits has Impossible Metals guaranteed to the people of American Samoa?
So we are at the beginning of this process, so we're starting our engagement with the community. We have voluntarily offered a profit share with the community.
And what's the amount, sir?
It was a 1%.
1%. Have you made any binding local commitments?
We have formalized, we have verbalized that agreement, and we are very willing to make a binding commitment on
Okay,
that.
but no binding commitment as of yet?
Not yet.
Okay,
no.
and thank you. Mr. Thaler, in your estimation, will there be any deep-sea mining profits to share with the American Samoan people in the near to medium term?
In the near to medium term, I think this is still a very highly experimental industry that is still in the phase of developing. I think there are many years of investment yet to go before any realized profit is seen, possibly if ever. So I don't believe in the near to midterm we'll be seeing
Possibly
profits.
if ever.
Possibly.
Thank you. In response to BOEM's request for information about deep-sea mining offshore American Samoa, Samoans raised many concerns, including potential disruptions to the tuna fishery, which is the territory's main economic driver. They also spoke eloquently about deep cultural significance of the ocean, its centrality to the Fa'a Samoa and the Samoan way of life, and how deep-sea mining can interfere with sacred cultural practices. Mr. Thaler, compared to the promised profit sharing, when would American Samoa potentially feel these harms?
So the most immediate harms I can see that would be directly felt by the peoples of American Samoa is if there is negative impact on the fisheries. And that would be at the outset, probably before commercial mining begins, during the scale up towards commercial mining, when there are productions of midwater plumes that could potentially impact commercially important fish species.
Thank you. I would like to ask unanimous consent to enter to the record this testimony from Indigenous leaders in Guam, the Commonwealth of Northern Mariana Islands and American Samoa.
Without objection.
Thank you. It warns, quote, "For the people, cultural identity and survival are inseparable from the sea. Polluting or industrializing the deep sea ocean threatens the ability to continue these religious and cultural practices and jeopardizes the continuation of indigenous knowledge and healing traditions." I think that it's really important. Arizonans know all too well what it means to live with mining law that prioritizes corporate profits over the public good. Before we rush into deep sea mining and history repeats itself, we here in Congress must make sure that we have a better system in place, one that takes indigenous sovereignty seriously, protects the environment, and one that is sacred and shares the benefits along with the risks. Thank you. I yield back.